Those are brave men knocking at our door. Let's go kill them!
Theon Greyjoy is woken from a nightmare in which he is being chased by large wolves with the faces of children, by his squire Wex Pike, with Reek standing behind him. Reek informs Theon that Asha has arrived. As Theon prepares to see his sister, he thinks back about the nightmares he has been having lately, ever since the night he and Reek killed the two boys at the mill. After washing his face, Theon dresses in rich clothing only to realise that Asha cares more for blades. He changes again, this time dressing in felted black wool and ringmail. Lastly, he dons his crown. Theon has taken to using guards for his own safety, while his own men have become sullen and anxious following the murders of Gelmar, Agar and Gainir. Although the three Ironborn had been killed by Reek with Theon's permission, to ensure that they would not be able to reveal what happened at the mill that night they returned with the corpses of the children, Theon felt the need to blame someone for their deaths. To that end, he executed Farlan, going as far to as personally execute him like Eddard Stark would have done. The memory is a sour one, as it had taken 4 difficult blows to sever Farlan's head, afterward feeling sick about it. His men would prefer to leave Winterfell, a thought that makes Theon angry. He refuses to be driven from his own seat, being the Prince of Winterfell. He blames Asha, feeling she had taken this long to respond to his commands on purpose. Reek, Erzan and Crom escort Theon to the hall, where he finds Asha in the high seat of the Starks. Theon is dismayed to discover that Asha brought only 20 men. In turn, she scolds him for having killed Bran and Rickon, and having mounted their heads upon Winterfell's gates. The memory of returning the bodies to Winterfell is a sour one for Theon as well. He recalls forbidding Luwin from sewing the heads back onto the bodies and placing them in the crypts. Theon leads Asha to Eddard Stark's Solar, where he tells her that Dagmar has lost a fight at Torrhen Square. Asher tells him she was not surprised to learn about it and informs him that Dagmar is currently leading the survivors back to the Stony Shore, making Theon realise that she is better informed than he is. Theon is furious about the fact that Asha is planning on leaving only 10 of her men behind for him. Leopold Tallheart has joined Sir Roderick Cassel, Lord Wyman Manderley has sent 12 barges upriver, and the Umbers are gathering beyond the last river. Asha compliments her brother for the clever way he took Winterfell, but tells him that the wise course of action would have been razing the castle and taking the 2 princes as hostages back to Pike. Winterfell is too far from the sea, and every Northman is now his enemy. Theon counters her, telling her that he killed 2 of Eddard Stark's sons to lay to rest the ghosts of their brothers, Roderick and Maron. Asha tells him that Roderick might feel the need to avenge Eddard's sons, and asks Theon to return with her to Deepwood Motte. When Theon refuses, Asha leaves, telling him he shall hold the castle for the remainder of his life. Asha departs the castle with her men, and Theon watches her go from atop the wall, where he is approached by Reek. Reek offers to find Theon 200 good men if Theon provides a horse and a bag of coin. He asks for Palla as a reward. Although Reek makes Theon uneasy, he does not dare kill the man, as he is literate and cunning, and could easily have left a hidden account of what they had done behind. Theon agrees to give him the girl if he can deliver 200 men, and Reek leaves the castle before the sun goes down. That night Theon dreams about the welcoming feast Eddard Stark had thrown King Robert Baratheon when the king visited Winterfell. Although the feast is jolly at first, the room grows darker, and suddenly Theon finds himself dining with the dead. Robert's guts are spilling out on the table from a great gash in his belly, while Eddard Stark is headless. Lining the benches below are the corpses of men he knows: Jory Cassel, Fat Tom, Porther, Kane, Hullen, and all the others who had gone south to King's Landing. Mickon, Chael, Benford Tallheart and his wild hares, the miller's wife, Farlan, and the wildling Theon had killed to rescue Bran are among them. There are also people who Theon has never met, including Rickard, Lyanna, and Brandon Stark. Then Robb Stark enters through the doors with Greywyn beside him, both of them bleeding from 100 savage wounds. Theon wakes, screaming, and Wex and his guards fet Luwin, but Theon does not dare drink the sleeping draught that the maester leaves him. Instead, he summons Kyra and fucks her, but even that cannot help him sleep again, and she leaves, sobbing in pain. At dawn, Theon goes outside. Seeing everything belonging to the Starks around him, he thinks to himself he should have gone with Asha. In silence, he looks at the heads mounted atop the iron spikes of the gatehouse, reflecting on what fools people can be. Although everybody had accepted his story, the heads on the wall actually belonged to the miller's sons, who had been of an age and colouring with the two missing Starks. With their faces flayed, nobody had been able to tell the difference. Theon had never actually found Bran and Rickon.
I am the dragon's daughter.